I'm going to read you an article which Paul Elam has just written and published on A Voice for Men, and which I had some input into as well. It's called Australia to Launch False Accusation Application. In one of the most brilliant and compelling rape hysteria propaganda bits that either I or Paul Elam have seen since the odious term rape culture was coined, Australia's Centre Against Sexual Assault, ACASA, which is actually misnamed. It should be called the Centre for Sexual Hysteria. But the ACASA has just announced that it will be launching a free application ostensibly designed to help police evaluate patterns of crime, but with the limiting clause against women. Not evaluate patterns of crime, period. No, evaluate patterns of crime, but only against women. A more complete description provided by reporting at theage.com.au puts this in crystal clear language, quoting them. The new application will allow users to use their mobile phone to anonymously post details about threatening sexual behavior, including the time and the place it occurred, and a description of the alleged offenders. The data collected will then be given to police. End of the quote. Link to that will be in the low bar. There now, is everybody comfortable? What this amounts to is an accusation application placed in the hands of anonymous women. Women who have, through this application, no responsibility whatsoever for the accuracy of the information they report. The potential for abuse is overwhelming, which is a concern acknowledged and then shamefully dismissed by the ACASA branch head, Carolyn Worth. She says, "We'll only refer incidents that have a similar time, location, and description. The police need evidence." Right. So somebody would have to use this application against a person 2 or 3 times to put an innocent individual in the hot seat. Of course, that would never happen. Right, Carolyn? Right. I will not dwell on the obvious and the blatant sexism of efforts to only address crimes against one sex, or the implied endorsement of violence targeting males. Given the pernicious nature of this initiative, we are obviously well past any point of civil dialogue on the basics of sexism. This is an anonymizing system engineered to profile and legally harass the members of one group. If there was ever something of such blatantly designed for Orwellian misuse deserving to be undermined, this is it. Now, on my suggestion, Paul and I both encourage all Australians to download this app to their phones as soon as it becomes available and to flood it with false information. In fact, we recommend that you make abuse of this application a daily routine in your life. Australian men and women who value their own human rights, as well as the rights of their neighbors, are advised to organize through Facebook or other social media, and advised to attack the innocent in groups, both men and women, but especially officers of the courts and members of civic governments, by coordinated profiling with this free anonymizing application. And remember, there are no controls over this information. You can profile anyone you want. I suggest starting with Carolyn Worth, or profile your dog, if his name happens to be Michael Flood. All the better. I don't care. Profile me, or profile Paul. Just hammer them with false reports till it completely pollutes the data they are gathering. Do not fall for the lie that this is about protecting women or about protecting any Australian citizen. This is about creating license for state functionaries on the say-so of anyone, any anonymous person, whether a victim or just someone with a vendetta, to undermine the rights of the male citizens of Australia and to create more propaganda to be used in fundraising efforts for outfits like the ACASA. But you do not have to let them enjoy the use of this irresponsible technology without a serious problem. Just 10 citizens who value human rights, making a couple of false reports per week, will very likely completely screw their already screwed up data. We do not yet know of the viability of men's rights activists in other countries joining in on this, but we will find out and report back. If we can undermine the efforts from across the planet, by all means, let us do it with insistency and purpose. It is up to you. Make abusing this application or applications like it in different ways a part of your daily routine as a human rights activist. Just a couple of thousand baloney reports, much like many of the legitimate ones surely coming in, per year, and we can effectively make this more hassle than it is worth. For those of you concerned about the false accusation flavor of this, just take them at the word, that this is only about trends and not individuals. And if they're lying about that, it is not your problem. This program is Orwellian in the most literal understanding of the word. It is up to you to do something about it. As far as we've been able to ascertain, there is nothing illegal in the actions we recommend, and there is no way to stop it from happening. A Voice for Men will be tracking developments in this case and doing everything we possibly can to undermine the use of this and other anonymizing, profiling, harassment applications. This app, and others like it, have got to go. Now, this isn't part of the article. This is simply my addendum at the end, my thoughts. I don't know how any society which claims or pretends to value human rights can very long tolerate a system or a social structure designed to produce anonymous criminal accusations.